Good day, ma'am. I'm Rodney G. Ramirez and I'm discussing the defense mechanism. But it has two types of defense mechanism. The first one is the bodily defense mechanism and the second one is the ego defense mechanism. But my main topic here is defense mechanism. Okay, what is defense mechanism? Defense mechanism is a pattern of adjustment through which an individual relieves anxiety caused by an uncomfortable situation that threatens self-esteem rather. When this defense mechanism are used moderately are harmless, but excessive and persistent defense use is harmful. According to Sigmund Freud, defense mechanism is refers to unconscious process that defend or protect a person against anxiety, shame, loss, self-esteem, and conflict or acceptable feelings. Kung baga, defense mechanism siya ang nagpoprotekta sa isang tao para maiwasan ang pagkakaroon ng anxiety or stress, ganon. Okay, let's move on to classification of defense mechanism. There are two types of classification of defense mechanism. The first one is positive defense mechanism and the second one is negative defense mechanism. Positive defense mechanism is considered as a mature positive strategy that it's choose to redirect strong emotion or feelings into an object or activity that's appropriate and safe. Kumbaga, sila yung taong think positive lang at tsaka meron silang matured na pag-isip. Ganun. These are the example of positive defense mechanism. Number one is compensation, substitution, sublimation, rationalization, representation, undoing, identification, transferring, intellectualization, introjection. Okay, next is negative defense mechanism. Includes denial, refusing to accept reality. Kumbaga, sila yung taong hindi pa matured. Hindi pa nila kayang i-accept yung reality ngayong panahon. And these are the example of negative defense mechanism: suppression, displacement, projection, regression, fixation, fantasy, reaction formation, conversation, discussion, and denial. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Good day, ma'am. My name is Marcos Kimanyo, BS Crim 2J. And this is my separating report, a common defense mechanism. Defense mechanism are psychological strategies that individuals unconsciously use to protect themselves from unpleasant emotions or situations. Some common defense mechanisms include: number one is denial. Denial, refusing to accept reality or facts. Ito po ay kailangan mong tanggapin ang katotohanan at ang mga nangyari dahil ito ay nangyari na. And number two is projection. Attributing one's own unacceptable thoughts or feeling to others. Ito ay kailangan mo ding tanggapin ang isang sinabi sa iyo ng iba o ipinaparamdam sa iyo ng mga tao dahil ito ang katotohanan. Number 3 is rationalization. Creating logical explanation to justify behaviors or feeling. Dito po ay malalaman ng mga tao kung ano kang tao na nabubuhay dito sa mundo. Kung ano ang kahinaan mo o saan ka mahina o saan ka nasasaktan. Number 4 is regression. Regression is reverting to behaviors character of an earlier stage of development in the face of stress. Dito po ay malalaman mo kung saan ka madidevelop sa mga nangyayari sa iyo, o na-stress ka man, o nasasalitaan ka man ng mga sasakit na salita, ay ditong madidevelop ang iyong sarili para ma-realize mo na kahit na-stress ka, ay may paparting pa din na mga magandang mangyayari sa iyo. And number 4 is regression. Reverting to behaviors character of earliest stage of development in face of stress. And number 5 is repression. Repression is pushing painful memories or thoughts into the unconscious mind. Ito po ay madalas na nangyayari sa mga tao o sa akin. Pushing painful memories. May naaalala kang masasakit na mga alaala na nangyari sa iyo noon. At napapaisip ka kung bakit nangyari yun. And number 6 is sublimation. Sublimation is channeling negative impulses or emotions into socially acceptable behavior. Negative impulses o yung mga nangyayari ay o yung mga naaalala mo o mga naiisip mo ay unti-unting nangyayari. Yan po ay sabi natin channeling negative impulses, sublimation. Number 7 is repression. Repression is unconsciously blocking out thoughts or memories that are too painful to consciously faces. Ito po ay parang na wala ka. Nawawala ka sa iyong sarili dahil sa mga masasakit na salita na sinabi sa iyo, ay yung utak mo ay parang walang laman. Ganyan ang nangyari. And number 8 is intellectualization. Focusing excessively on abstract of or intellectual aspect of situation to avoid dealing with the emotions aspect. And number 9 is reaction formation. Adopting behaviors or attitude that are opposite of one's true feeling or impulses. Ito po ay na-adapt mo sa mga tao o mga nakakasama mo at parang ikukumpara mo ang iyong sarili sa kanila. At yun ang nangyayari din sa iyo. Number 9 is reaction formation. Adopting behaviors or attitudes that are opposite one's true feelings or impulses. And number 10 is compensations. Compensation is overpacing or focusing on strength to compensate for perceived weaknesses or failures. Focusing on strength to compensate for perceived weaknesses or failures. Kailangan mo isipin kung saan ka malakas o malaman mo kung saan ka mahina. Kung yun ang kahinaan mo, dapat hindi mo gawin. At yung isipin mo at yung gawin mo, yung mga nagpapalakas sa iyo at nagpapalakas sa utak o sa sarili mo. This defense mechanism serve as ways to protect the ego from anxiety or discomfort. Ito daw na mechanism ay nagbibigay ng proteksyon
Good day, ma'am. Our topic is about abnormal psychology. So, what is abnormal psychology? Abnormal psychology is a branch of the psychology that deals with the study, diagnosis, and treatment of unusual patterns of behavior, emotion, and thoughts that could potentially signify a mental disorder. This field aims to understand and control behavior that is considered aberrant or deviant, which could be statistically, functionally, morally, or in some other sense. Ang abnormal psychology na ito is ay naglalayong kontrolin ang pag-ugali ng tao na itinuturing nating aberrant o deviant. Ibig sabihin, ang abnormal psychology na ito ay tumatalakay sa pag-aaral, pagsusuri at paggamot sa mga hindi pangkaraniwang pag-ugali ng isang tao o emosyon ng tao. na maaaring nagpapahiwatig ng isang mental disorder. And next is types of abnormal psychology. One is anxiety disorder. One is anxiety disorder. Involve excessive and persistent feeling of fear, worry or unease. Examples include generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, and specific phobia. Amin tinutukoy nato na nagdudulothan an anxiety disorder. Usa nga karamdaman sa nga tawo nga sugadhan pagkahadlok, pag-aalala permi, ito nga nag-aalala permi o pagkabalisa. Kasama na rin ang iba't ibang naiisip ng isang tao. Two is mood disorder. Mood disorder are characterized by the significant disruption in emotional state and mood. Major depressive disorder and bipolar disorder are common example of mood disorder. Kumbaga, ang mood disorder is ginlalarawan din ni is pagkagambalan o ang emosyonan o sa nga tawo o kaya bad mood. Iritado amo ito ya. And the next is schizophrenia spectrum disorder. Schizophrenia spectrum disorder is ito ay nararamdaman ang pag-ugali ng isang tao na ginlalarawan sugad ng mga sintomas na guni-guni, delusyon ngan pag-iisip. Meaning is usay ni nga malubhang sakit sa pag-iisip na nakakapekto sa pag-iisip ng isang tao. And the next is 4. Personality disorder. Ang personality disorder naman is bagainin permi nagtitiis o kaya lubang pag-iisip ng isang tao na nagdudulot sa pagkabalisa o kapansanan. So adi nga personality disorders involve enduring patterns of thinking, feeling, and behavior that deviate from cultural expectation and cause distress or impairment. Amo na ito yang nga sobra nga pag-iisip ito nga banaura-uran na ba. Amo ito yung personality disorder. And the last is 5. Sleep disorder. Sleep disorder is involve disturbance in sleep patterns and can lead to difficulties falling asleep, staying asleep, or excessive sleepiness during the day. Sleep disorder is ito nga kulang katurog, di rin nakakaturog, kulang talaga katurog, ito nga bisang gabi di rin nakaturog, di na nakaturog, bisan aga di na nakaturog, makaturog man is piral ka minuto, kaya mo ito na nagdodulot ang han nagdudulot insomnia, sleep apnea, at narcolepsy. So,
Good day, ma'am. My name is Ronaldo G. Dilig Jr. B is Cream 2, Section J. And this is my topic. Normal behavior versus abnormal behavior. Normal behavior. This is behavior that is typical, expected, and aligns with the most common behavior in a society or group. Normal behavior is often guided and writing rules in a society, which are learned and reinforced during socialization. It varies greatly across different cultures and societies. For example, it is normal in many Western societies for individuals to express their feelings openly, while in some Eastern cultures such behavior might be seen inappropriate and ab- abnormal behavior. This is behavior that deviates from what is expected or typical in a psychology. Abnormal behavior generally refers to behavior patterns that are counterproductive, destructive, harmful to oneself or others, or cause significant distress. They often interfere with one daily functioning. This can include behavior that is associated with mental disorders. However, just because a behavior is unusual does not mean it is abnormal in a psychological sense. For example, a person who chooses to pursue a less common career path may be behaving unusually but not abnormally.
Good morning, ma'am. Our topic for today is all about neurosis and psychosis. And my topic is all about neurosis. A person who is neurotic acts and feels anxious. They also commonly feel negative about themselves, having many feelings of self-doubt. If someone is neurotic, will commonly rehash worst case scenarios in their minds without being able to control these thought patterns. Ang neurotic, bali, tigdala yan nakakakuhan, natutulala, tas kadakin na era nakakaramdamin negative tungkol sa kanilang sarili. Tapos nagdududog yapon nila ng era kalagaringon. Tapos kukuha nila era gimbabalik an era pas bagay trauma magyapon sitwasyon sa kanilang isipan. Tapos dahil diri nila naabot it time nga diri nila makontrol ang nila pag-iisip. Good morning, ma'am. Our topic for today. Ang difference sa neurosis ngayon psychosis, ang neurosis, diri nakaka-encounterhan hallucination and delusion. Tapos, ang neurosis ay direra kinahanglan gud pagpa hospital dahil ang apektadong individual ay maaaring hawakan ang kanilang sarili at bihirang magpakamatay. Bali, kuan ini kaya pa ba ma-handle era kalugaringon? Kailangan nera bantayan. So dito. Tas ang pinagkaiba niran kuan treatment consists of moral and social support bali kinahanglan nila ang mga kapagpaupay era bali kinahanglan nila support nila kag anak or nila kuan closest friends yan medicine can also prescribe wala.
Good morning, ma'am. So, ang akong yan topic is all about psychosis. Psychosis refers to a mental condition where a person loses touch with reality. It is a symptom, not an illness, and it is more common than you think. It can happen to anyone and is usually triggered by other conditions. Ang psychosis ngayon, na miminiyaha o sa nga mental condition kung habaga mental health so gaditon. Pero di rin niya, warin niya kaugnayan na sakit, mental condition la. Kasangin niya nga sintomas nga, karaniwan, naiisip pa o sa nga tao. Ngin, pwede niya matrigger hapon hin o man. Good morning, ma'am. So, ang akong yan topic is all about psychosis. Psychosis So, ang difference naman han neurosis tas psychosis. Ang psychosis, ano sa nga tao, nakaka-feel yan hallucinations, tapos delusions. Tapos ang panduha naman niya kuan, difference han psychosis, is nagkukonsistiya in treatment of antipsychotic medicines, psychological therapy, social support.
Good day everyone, my name is Ramel Kitamor Jr. and my partner in Everybody. We're going to present our PowerPoint today. It is all about some types of neurosis. But first, what is neurosis? So it says, neurosis is a mental condition that is not caused by organic disease involving symptoms or stress, depression, anxiety, obsessive behavior, hypochondria, but not a radical loss of touch with reality. So it says that neurosis refers to a range of mental health conditions characterized by distress, but not delusion or hallucination. It often involves anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive tendencies, or other maladaptive behaviors. Treatment usually involves therapy and sometimes medication. There is the some types of neurosis. The anxiety. Anxiety is a normal part of life and is an emotion we all feel from time to time. So it says that anxiety is a natural response to stress or perceived threats. It's characterized by feelings of worry, nervousness, or unease, often about something with an uncertain outcome. And depression. Depression is a common mental disorder. It involves a depressed mood or loss of pleasure or interest in activities for long periods. So, it says that depression is a mood disorder that causes persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and loss of interest in activities. It can affect how you feel, think, and handle daily activities. And irritability. So, irritability is a feeling of agitation that you might experience as a result of stress, mental health condition, or physical disorder. So, it says that irritability refers to an heightened state of annoyance or frustration, often accompanied by a low tolerance for stimuli or interactions that wouldn't normally provoke such a reaction.
PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder is develops in some people who have experienced a shocking, scary, or dangerous event. It is natural to feel afraid during and after traumatic situation. Fear is a part of the body's fight or flight response which helps avoid or response to potential danger. Ang traumatic stress disorder o PTSD ay isang karamdaman na nabubuo sa ilang tao na nakakaranas ng nakakagulat, nakakatakot o mapanganib na pangyayari. Next is distress neurosis. Distress neurosis, this type of neurosis is characterized on ongoing profound sadness with losing interest in activities that once provide pleasure. Ang depressive neurosis naman ay ang ganitong uri ng neurosis ay nilalarawan sa pamamagitan ng patuloy at malalim na kalungkutan na pagkawala ng interest sa mga aktibidad o minsan sa nagbigay ng kasiyahan. Next is emotional instability. Emotional instability presents with a changeable mood could be feeling happy and energetic 1 minute, but the small things and comment made by someone or something not going on plan can result sudden and sometimes quite catastrophic drop in mood. Ang emotional naman depressive ay nakakawalang tagtag ay nagpapakita ng isang nagbabagong mood o maaaring maging masaya sa masigla ng 1 minuto. Ngunit pagkatapos ay maliit ang bagay tulad ng isang komento na ginagawa ng tao na isang bagay na hindi nangyayari. Next is personal disorder. Personality disorder is a mental health condition where people have a lifelong pattern of seeing themselves and reacting to others ways that cause problem. Ang personality disorder naman ay isang kondisyon sa kalusugan ng isip kung saan ang mga tao ay may panghabang buhay na pattern na pagtingin sa kanilang sarili patungkol sa iba sa mga paraan na nagdudulot ng mga problema. And last is decreased consciousness. Decreased consciousness is a person may not answer when spoken to, stare straight ahead and have no facial expression. Others will think the person is acting confused, old or sleepily. Later, the person may not be able to recall what happened.
And combat stress. Combat stress reaction, also known as battle fatigue, is a common response to the mental and emotional strain that can result from dangerous and traumatic experience. It is a natural reaction to the wear and tear of the body and mind, often extended and demanding operations. So it says that combat stress reaction, also known as acute stress reaction, refers to the psychological and behavioral reaction of military personnel or PNP who experience intense stress during combat or other operations. It can manifest as a range of symptoms including fear, confusion, disorientation, emotional numbness, and impaired decision making. And conversion disorder. Conversion disorder, also known as functional neurological system disorder, is a condition in which a person experiences physical and sensory problem such as paralysis, numbness, blindness, deafness, or seizures with no underlying neurologic pathology. So it says that conversion disorder is a condition where a person experiences neurological symptoms such as weakness, paralysis, tremor, or seizure that cannot be explained by a neurological disease or other medical condition. These symptoms often appear suddenly and can significantly impair daily functioning. Guilt. Guilt, having committed an offense, crime, violation, or wrong, especially against moral or penal law, just subject to a certain accusation or penalty, culpable. So it says that guilt is an emotional experience that arises when a person believes they have violated a moral standard or done something wrong. It can manifest as feeling of remorse, regret, or self-approach. One is phobia. So, phobia are extreme fears that may be rational or irrational. So, in my own opinion, I think phobia are intense and irrational fears of specific objects, situations, or activities. Common phobia include fear of height, fear of spiders, fear of enclosed spaces, and fear of flying. Phobia can cause significant distress and avoidance behavior impacting daily life. So that's all our presentation for today. Thank you.